at the bottom of it, it has been a journey, and there's been different stages to this journey. There's been different guests and people we've met along the journey, which has been pretty incredible, from different walks of life, different levels of success, but all part of this community. And for me, it's my selfish way of educating myself, but also being able to share the education with everybody else, And so I've felt, incredibly privileged to be able to sit down with some of these really incredibly interesting people who have struggled, who have created something unique and brought value to our community and ultimately lifted our community up. And so that's what I'm going to keep doing because it's funny because Tiffany, our producer, and I, we talk a lot about this. There's a lot of businesses that are here that are pretty big on a national scale, but maybe not even well known here. So that's my goal is I want to uncover some of those pretty awesome local business owners and leaders here in our community. These are people, especially as a growing business owner, someone who is emerging in this community and, still chasing a lot of the, bigger business owners and what they've been able to create and learning as much as I can from really anybody, right? Being a sponge. Sitting down with these people, I think the common theme is they're just people. They're like really, it's not that they're average people because they're clearly excelling on many levels, but they're not, they're very kind people. They're very giving people. The common theme is that we're all human, right? And a lot of what they've been able to teach me is that mistakes are important. They're a lot more important than I think we give them credit for. And seeing these people fail, but their attitude towards failure and mistakes is what makes them truly, I think, extraordinary, is that they say, oh, great, made a mistake. We're going to fix it right now. Let's jump on it right now. And it's this kind of can-do moxie that a lot of these people have in common. I think being kind of obsessed with a vision of how things can be different. And that's so inspiring because when something is different than the status quo, you're not going to have anything really to bounce it off of. Like you're really going to have some people that a lot of people are going to say it's stupid or don't do it or whatever it may be. But ultimately you're out there on your own and you kind of have to just compete against yourself. So a lot of these people may have one competitor or 10 competitors or no competitors. And so how do you grow when you're just competing with yourself or very few people? So that to me is another common theme, is how these people deal with failure and success, right? Well, when I was a little kid, a little guy, my mom said to me, if you're anything like I am, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. And yes, it is important how you prepare and act to make things go as smoothly as possible when you're in the moment. But humans make a lot of mistakes. So it's really important to focus on, okay, let's do it as best we can. But if it doesn't work, how are we going to handle what comes after that? Like what's next, right? And so that's something that's really stuck with me because I'm so far from perfect and I make a lot of mistakes and I have selective listening and I hear only the things I want to hear. And I mean, all the human traits, right? So thinking that we have this model of what it's like to be the perfect business owner or, leader within a company, I think is a failure in itself, is trying to pretend to be something that we're not, which is human, right? We have to embrace that we're human and we're all different. So we have different strengths and weaknesses. And so I think the biggest reason that I've carried that through with this podcast is because we rarely learn anything from people's successes. I mean, it's really just the byproduct of a lot of failure. And, you can ask anyone here on our team and within the Building Bellingham podcast, we've tried almost everything. We've failed at almost everything, but ultimately we're in a position where things are working really well, but people don't necessarily see the path, right? And I think the path is more important than the result. I think the result's great. I think it's awesome to have success, but I think the path is way more important if you're at least trying to learn, right? You don't learn much from the success. You learn from the path and the steps people took and the cliffs people fell down and the bumps and bruises and all of the failures. So I ask a lot about that because that to me is by far the best way that I can help share the path and the true lessons that I think aspiring entrepreneurs and people that really want to get to know these community leaders and business owners need to be following. They need to be looking at that, not necessarily the fact that they want a trophy.